welcome to Turn the Page, the official podcast of the Syosset Public Library.
Hi, this is Jessica with Syosset Library's Turn the Page podcast, and our guest today is
Axur Eneas.
And we are here to talk to you about one of your books, Student Ambassador.
Yes, it's coming out in September.
Is it so it's middle grade, would you say?
Yes.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about it, what it's about. I know you collaborated with Ryan Estrada, who's worked with us on other projects before.
Yes, this is my first project working with Ryan in What Iron Circus Comics. Student Ambassador is for middle grade. It's the adventure of Joseph. He's a student ambassador in this program. United Nations. Before continuing, I have to say I'm from Mexico. I'm a Mexican artist.
Yes.
So maybe my English is not the best. I didn't have chance to practice more. I usually try to go to conventions or be on more events, but obviously this year it's been different. So
this year has been something for sure.
Yes.
So welcome to New York from Mexico via the magic of Zoom. So where did you begin? Tell us a little bit about the book, what it's about, and I guess how you got connected with Ryan to work on it.
Yes, the book is about, well, Ryan was a student ambassador with this program when he was a child, and he told me like he thought he was going to be traveled around the world, having an adventure, something really like Indiana Jones type of things. But obviously the program is not like that. It's more like just a tour package. So he imagined these adventures of being a child and to be involved with the countries he visited, to be involved in the story, politics, community of those countries. So he made this story a long time ago. He told me he's been setting up this script for a while about Joseph, one kid that he's like a version of him traveling to a fictional country in Asia and meeting a young king, a very young king, and having adventures with this other child and meeting and traveling to South Korea, to Seoul. So it was.
So it's slightly autobiographical on his end.
Slightly. As how I explain it is like it's fantasy, but fantasy in the way that children be involved in politics and making the world better. So that's a little bit.
I think that sounds really exciting, and I think children are really going to love that. So you did the art for it.
Yes, it was by chance. Like I follow Ryan in Twitter for a while now, and this is 2018. I was in the middle of waiting for the approval of my show. I'm working on animation too. So I saw a tweet of him that, I'm looking for a middle grade artist for a project. Just put it like that. He didn't put more details in his tweet. So I just sent in my portfolio. I do this a lot, and I didn't think it will be more than that, but half hour later, he sent me an email that, yes, I saw your portfolio is exactly what I was looking for. This is the script. This is what the pitch I can pay for right now. And it was really quick, like, because I had time. I made a cover and a character design. I worked with this pitch, and like 2 weeks later, Iron Circus bought the book. So it was great that it was so soon that me and Ryan clicked. And also that because Joseph is Mexico-American, just like Ryan,
yes.
He felt, it's great that and the artist can be a Mexican. So I can put more of me out there.
It looks absolutely adorable. I love the artwork.
Thank you.
So am I mistaken? Do you work in animation as well?
Yes, I've been trying to do comic books since I was very young, but also I had a chance to work in animation from people that saw my work in comic books. So, oh, you could be here and doing character design or background design effects. So I entered an Anima Studios. I work in three animated movies here in Mexico for Anima Studios, including a sequel for Top Cat that is very popular here in Mexico. So I think a lot of my friends from the United States are shocked that there are two animated movies for Top Cat.
Well, you know, that's really cool. So is your heart in, do you find that your heart is really more in comic books, or do you think it's just like a balance between the two? Or is there a lot of difference in working in animation versus comic books?
At the beginning, yes, because in animation, I was just doing concept art and making references for the animators and 3D modelers. So I was making more illustration, making more notes that it was to be translated to 3D, but they were never be shown. My concept art, it was more than anything notes. I enjoy it a lot, but that was very different to comic book that is telling a story through my drawings. The middle point that I'm now is that I'm doing currently a show for Cartoon Network Latin America. It's a sketch show it's called Tutorial. It's about crazy solutions to everyday problems. And it's a show that started for YouTube, but it's now showing in TV and here in Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. It's in all Latin America in the channel of Cartoon Network. It's going well, and I've been working in that for the last 3 years.
That's great.
I'm in season 2 right now, working on it. And that thing is the middle point, because I'm the writer, I'm the main animator, I do backgrounds, I do the storyboards. So it's like doing a comic book that's gonna be in TV.
There's so much in both comic books, I'm going to say both, but I'm going to say 3 things, but 2 things are kind of put together. Comic books, graphic novels, and animation. It's become, I mean, it's always been great, and it's always been, this wonderful art form, but I feel like it's getting new appreciation, especially in the way that there's so many people who grew up with it as fans, and new voices from different cultures, different genders, different races really coming into it, that it's got a lot of places to grow, and I'm hoping that those are the directions it will continue to grow in. Is there anything in particular that anybody you work with or that you'd like to work with in that aspect?
Well, I've been extremely happy to work with Iron Circus. I've been trying to be in one of their anthologies since, like, I think 2016, but I wasn't chosen for the anthologies, so I was shocked that now I have a graphic novel with them.
Right.
And I'm very happy to see that they started making comic book for adults, and now I'm exploring middle grade and children, and more publishers are open to do comic books for a young audience, middle grade, and I love that, because that allows people like me that are in animation to be expand what we do and to collaborate with a lot of people. Like I hope to. I just recently sent a pitch to a literary agent for a story I've been working, and I hope to keep working in this field. But there's so many people I want to work, because it's exciting this point now that a student ambassador is, I'm here in Mexico, Ryan is in Seoul, Korea, Chaz and Amanda that work in lettering and color are from the United States. So we're making this international story with artists around the world. So that's incredible for me.
It's very authentic.
Yeah, I hope. And I think that's the way it's gonna be, because like when we talking right now here online, it's just going to be more, especially now with COVID. And I'm looking forward for that, because me and my girlfriend, and we do comic books. It's been great to talk with people from the United States and to see how we consume entertainment different.
Yes.
That we can talk and we can share the way we live the world, how we make our stories, how we interpret it, how we put ourselves inside the stories.
I think so. And I say this a lot, and by a lot, I mean since the end of February, mid-March, that while things have closed, other things have opened up. And there's definitely things about COVID that I don't think we're going to stop feeling for quite a while, even after things have passed. But one thing that I guess in my situation and in some of the situations of guests like yourself that we've had, either both podcasts or in programs, because I know you're going to be in an upcoming program, our third Celebrity Drawful, which has been super fun and a lot of very exciting, is you can reach people from all over the world. You can have Ryan in South Korea at a program at quote unquote Syosset Library, even though it's virtual, or you can have an author from California do a book talk at noon here and 9 o'clock there, and it's a different way to reach and engage and sort of get, there's nothing like, you mentioned going to Comic-Cons before, and I'm a huge Comic-Con person. This will be the first year in over 10 years that I will not be going to New York Comic-Con. But there's nothing like really meeting people who are fans or who do work that you love. But one thing, even though it's not the same, I guess, rush of being in person, it's almost a little bit more intimate when you get to do things like this. So, but then you miss like that whole, like, I guess, momentary sales pitch, like, and by the way, here's my book that I can sign for you. So it's this weird balance.
Yeah, it's really complicated. Like here in Mexico, my show came out from an animation event called Pixelatl, that each year they invite executives and people from animation from around the world to Cuernavaca, Morelos, here in Mexico. And I go each year, so it's been a chance for me to talk with people, to other artists, and from that show, my tutorial came out. This year, obviously, is going to be all digital. So is this a different experience that there's all these guests from Cartoon Network, like it's going to be Rebecca Sugar from Steven Universe is going to be giving a talk. But several artists from also Chile, from Colombia, Canada, and in this event, I'm one of the speakers because I'm going to talk about season 2 of my show, but we're gonna do everything online. So it's gonna be a different version of that, but I hope it's important that we keep these connections we've been making for the years, because I follow a lot of people here in Twitter from the United States, and I feel it's like I want to see more of this connection between countries and our experiences, because it's great for us to be collaborating with people around the world, like with people from Latin America or Europe or America, and it's great to see the art, how it's making new shapes. I love that.
I think so too. That's when is that happening?
In September, it's like in three weeks.
Oh wow. Okay. That's very cool. Yeah, you mentioned Rebecca Sugar. I got to see them at Comic-Con years and years ago, and it was cool. But it was also in this packed building, like theater, where I had to quit to squint to see them, and everybody else who was up. And while it was very exciting, as you mentioned, not only is it a little bit more up close and personal, but it's more expansive because now you have people coming from literally all over the world.
Yeah.
It sounds really exciting. So Student Ambassador, is that going to be a series?
We hope so. Ryan, when we first talked, he told me like, oh, I have like 7 plot points. Like each book is an adventure in a different country and meeting new kids from around the world. Obviously, he wanted to start with Korea because he's the place where he's living. He has such a close relationships, and because he teaches English to children, so in the book he put a little lessons how to learn as the language, and it's really cool that. But he also has stories written to be adventures in Mexico. So I hope the books goes well, so I can draw my country and put my country there.
That would be really great. I can tell that this book is going to be, I think I mentioned this before, it's going to be very popular with its audience. I spent roughly, now I always forget how many years, but it was like 16 years as a children's librarian. And I was one of the first people in my department to start building our graphic novel collection. And you can see, once you really start to interact with the kids and giving them these books, you could see what they really connect to. And I think this is just going to blow up. So I don't think The Missing Dragon is going to be the only student ambassador trip. I think that, and I'm hoping that we get to see Mexico in your work and wherever else the story takes us, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I really hope so. I had a lot of fun drawing it, and it was at one point a little complicated because I was also doing my TV show, so I was like running from one place to another here with all. But I feel happy to see that because in my show is a comedy animated show. I do a lot of goofy expressions, a lot of slapstick comedy, characters doing a lot of stuff. So I try to put that in Student Ambassador, and I liked that Ryan allowed me to make Nang and Joseph really expressive cartoon characters. So it's fun to see them running around or taking his adventure.
So what are some other graphic novels that you have worked on?
For United States, my first 2 projects was Adventures of Iron Girl and Slayer the Heavy Metal Santa. I made those with Action Lab Entertainment, with Gwen Finstra and Rob, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Those were my first comic book projects for clients. That was in 2016. 2014. That's a lot, yeah. And I've been publishing here in Mexico too. I have 2 graphic novels I wrote and drew for publishers here. And my most recent here was Más allá de las ciudades, that is for Editorial Océano. And that was interesting because I was the artist for my girlfriend. She wrote the story and I do the art.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I also see that you've done some cover art for the Princeless series.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun as well. We've had one of the main writers on the podcast as well, which I believe we're going to release that episode around the Inktober period. But that's really cool. We really look forward to seeing more from you stateside, be it with Ryan or with others, and to hear more from you about your work with Cartoon Network in Latin America.
Yes, I hope to keep doing the show. It's going to be released, the episodes of the season. Obviously, it was a delay because of the COVID, because my show has stop motion parts,
Yeah.
And the studio where I work, they cannot shoot inside. So it took a while to make that part and to record voices, but it's going to be start to release in October. And I'm working right now with James Roche from the States in another graphic novel. So I'll be working on that the second half of the year and beginning of the next one. And I hope Student Ambassador goes well, so I can start working right away next year in book 2.
Very cool. So just really quickly, you mentioned just how COVID has kind of changed the production of animation. I heard something, and I don't know how accurate it is, that because of COVID, people are predicting animation to be more prominent in the next few years because you can't really physically, I guess I don't know how they're going to physically film half the things we've been told we should be looking forward to. It's like, oh, well, there's, so-and-so was just optioned for a Netflix TV show. Cool. How's that going to happen? Do you think, obviously COVID is going to take an effect on animation as well. Do you think that there's more wiggle room there?
I think it's a case by case, because I see VFX to grow even more, because it's something you can pull the teams apart so they work from home and to do the things that you cannot shoot live now. And I also, because I have a lot of friends here, is that since the beginning of the year, when China and all the Asian countries were shutting down for COVID, the friends told me that, States animation is stopped because a lot of animation is made in other countries. So they were trying to figure out everything. So I know from productions that send work here in Mexico. So small studios here are doing work for Nickelodeon, Disney, Cartoon Network. So that's something I see is going to keep growing.
So, well, thank you so much for chatting with us. We can't wait to work with you for Celebrity Drawful. If there's anything else you want to leave us with before we sign off, let me know.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Student Ambassador. It was a project that all of us work hard on to make a good, fun story. And we hope to keep doing more.
All right. Well, thank you so much. So once again, this was Jessica, and my guest was?
Axur Eneas.
And I am going to... Oh, thank you. And I am going to close this chapter of Turn the Page.
It's time to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Join us for the next episode.